Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the factors affecting compaction. And the factors are: first one, water content of the soil, amount of compaction, type of soil which is being compacted, the amount of compactive energy used, method of compaction, last one, admixtures. So we can discuss one by one. First one, water content of the soil. So, what is the effect of water on compaction? That is, as water is added to the soil it will act as a softening agent. The water will act as a softening agent on the soil particles and becomes easier for the particles to move one another during the application of the compactive forces. Or the water act as, or when we are adding water, the soil particles gets lubricated, so the soil mass become more workable and the particles have a closer packing. So the dry density increases. So this water will act as a lubricating agent. So we can improve the dry density. As the soil compacts, the voids are reduced and this causes the dry density to increase. So this is the effect of water. So, for discussing the effect of water, we can just discuss the compaction curve. In this compaction curve, mainly there are three regions. That is the region which is below OMC, okay, and also the maximum point, that is maximum point at which dry density is maximum, and the region which is above OMC. So, first we can discuss water content below OMC. Water content below OMC means this portion. So what is the effect of water in this portion? Here, as the water content increases, the particle develops larger and larger water films around them, and which tend to lubricate the particles and make them easier to be moved about and reoriented into a denser configuration. So in this region, as we are increasing the water content, the dry density also increases because this water acts as a lubricating agent and it will improve the denser packing, so increases the dry density. Okay, so that is the reason why here the dry density is increasing. This is the effect of water in this region, that is water content below OMC. Okay, next, water content at OMC, that is at optimum moisture content. The dry density is at the maximum and it does not increase any further at this point. At OMC, that is when water content is reached OMC, the dry density is maximum and it does not increase any further. Last is water content above OMC, that is water content in this region. Okay, that is if we are adding water which is more than optimum moisture content, what will happen? The dry density in this figure, it is clear that dry density is decreasing. The reason is that the water starts to replace the soil particles in the mold and the dry unit weight starts to decrease. That is, if we are increasing the water above this OMC, the water will replace the solid particles. That's why the dry density is decreasing. Okay, that is the reason. That is, when we are increasing the water above this OMC, this additional water, what will happen? This additional water occupies the space that might have been occupied by the solid particles. So the dry density decreases. Okay. Then second factor is amount of compaction or increasing compactive effort. Both are same, amount of compaction or effect of increasing compactive effort. So increased compactive effort enables greater dry unit weight. Okay, that is when we are increasing the compactive effort, the dry unit weight get increased. That is, it is clear from this figure. That is, it can be seen from this figure that the compaction curve is not a unique soil characteristics. It depends on the compaction energy. When we are increasing the compaction energy, the dry density is improved and OMC is reduced. That is, in the last class we had discussed or we have compared the standard Proctor test and modified Proctor test, and this is the figure. That is, if you are improving the compactive effort in modified Proctor test, the dry density increased and optimum moisture content decreased. That is, at lower water content the soil has reached the maximum dry density. So when we are increasing the compactive effort, we can improve the dry density to a higher value. Okay, so that is the effect of increasing compactive effort. For this reason, it is important, that is when we are giving values of dry density or maximal dry density and OMC, we should also specify the compaction procedure. that is whether it is standard or modified. That's very important. This we can get a dry density which is greater for modified compaction test comparing the standard Proctor test. So when we are specifying these parameters like dry density and OMC, we should specify which procedure we have adopted. Okay. So from the preceding observations, we can see that as the compaction effort is increased, the maximum dry unit weight of the compaction is also increased. Okay, that is clear from this figure. That is, when we are improving the compactive effort, the maximum dry density is more. Then as the compaction effort is increased, the optimum moisture content is decreased to some extent. That is, this is the two OMC values. That is, when we are increasing the compactive effort, OMC is reduced. Okay. Then next factor is type of soil it is being compacted. That is, when we are varying the soil which is compacted, the maximum dry density also varies. It is soil type, grain size, shape of soil grains, amount and type of clay minerals present, and the specific gravity of the soil solids have a greater influence on the dry unit weight and optimum moisture content. That is, for example, uniformly graded sand or poorly graded in nature is difficult to compact. Okay, that is when we are compacting a uniformly graded sand or poorly graded, which is poorly graded in nature, it will be become very difficult to compact that type of soil. Next, in poorly graded sands, the dry unit weight initially decreases as the moisture content increases and then increases to maximum value with further increase in moisture content. That is the variation of sand we have discussed in the last class. Okay, that is this is the variation of compaction curve of sand. Initially it decreases, then increases, then reaches maximum point, then again decreases. Okay, this is the variation of sand. That is, at lower moisture content, the capillary tension inhibits the tendency of the soil particles to move around and be compacted. That's why initially the dry density decreasing. The reason is that the capillary tension inhibit the soil from being in compact position. Okay, so initially the dry density decreases, then again increases and reaches a maximum point, then again decreases. So in the case of sand, it is difficult to compact or reach the maximum dry density. Okay. Then at a given moisture content, a clay with low plasticity will be weaker than a heavy or highly plastic clay. So it will be easier to compact. That is, in the case of clay, it will be very easy to compact. And also for high plastic clay, it is very easy to compact that type of clay. Okay, that is the compactive effort varies with the type of soil. Then next factor is method of compaction. The dry density achieved also depends upon method of compaction, whether we are using kneading action, dynamic action or static action. That is, when we are adopting different methods, the amount of dry density obtained is also varying. Okay, so based on this method of compaction, the dry density achieved varies. And these are some general compaction methods. That is, for coarse grained soil, laboratory method is vibrating hammer. And in field, the methods are hand operated vibration plates, motorized vibrator rollers, rubber tire segment, etc. And in the case of fine grained soil, laboratory method, falling weight and hammer kneading compactors, static loading and press. And kneading methods in field are hand operated hammers, sheep foot rollers, etc. These are an last topic of your textbook, but these methods are not much described in your syllabus, so I am not explaining each one. Okay. You should know these are the different methods for different types of soil. For different types of soil, we are varying these methods also, because as property or as soil property varies, the dry density attained and OMC is also varying. So we are adopting different types of methods for different type of soil. Then last factor affecting compaction is admixtures. The compaction characteristics of soil can be improved by adding other materials, and these materials are known as admixtures. Like in a concrete, you have studied admixtures to improve the property. Likewise, here also we can add admixtures to increase the dry density. Okay. Then commonly used admixtures are lime, cement, and bitumen. Okay. So these are the factors affecting compaction. Once more, the factors are water content, amount of compaction, and this amount of compactive energy. These both I have explained in one parameter. These both are same, amount of compaction and amount of compactive energy used. then type of soil being compacted, then method of compaction, admixtures. Okay, by this I am winding today's class, so you should read the textbook. Thank you.